Hello everyone, it's me Joey and welcome to another one of our beer reviews. This time we're going to be having Lagunitas Brown Shugga Ale. Brown Shugga, I'm not entirely sure what they're going after here, but all I know is I have had a couple of different things from Lagunitas before, mostly being IPAs, and they haven't disappointed me, so I'm kind of curious to see what this is, because I haven't had anything that resembles a brown ale by Lagunitas before, so hopefully this ends up being pretty good. Let's see, it doesn't really just say much other than, you know, it's got your government warning on here, and as any beer should. It's just, doesn't really say much about it, to be honest. Kind of interesting. Anyways, I guess I'm gonna have to pour it and taste it myself to figure out what exactly I'm getting into. So let's just pop this open. I will say I really like the font choice on the Brown Shugga. It very much emphasizes just the interesting nature of it, I guess. Hopefully it's as interesting as it looks. Good here. Let's go ahead and pour this down here. Just do a simple pour. It doesn't really tell me what to do, so I'm just going to pour this like I normally would any other beer. Pretty average head here, that's nice. So, I'm just looking at it right now, and it's honestly, I'm just trying to look through the light real quick. It's not very dark. I was expecting it to be a little more brown when it's called Brown Shugga. I'm not even sure like what this is going to imply. Maybe this might have some sort of like brown sugary taste to it. I'm totally in the dark here. This is one I've never actually had before, so this will make things a little more interesting. Kind of blind. Looking at the head right now, and it's the average looks like basic foam right here. Nothing terribly different. Very nicely carbonated. You can see quite a bit through it. Very transparent. But I'm kind of curious to see what it's going to taste like, because I can't get anything off of visual impression. So, oh wow, that's surprising. I'm smelling it, and I'm getting hints of. What am I getting? It doesn't smell like brown sugar, that's for sure. It doesn't give off the impression of a brown ale. If anything, it smells almost like hoppy. Almost a little bit of citrusy kind of scent to it. I don't really know. It's kind of weird. I'm hoping this tastes good, so let's find out. Cheers. Yeah, that is a lot hoppier than I was expecting. I mean, I knew I was going to get into something. I didn't think I was going to actually get into, you know, the hoppy territory. I'm used to IPAs by Lagunitas, but I wasn't expecting it to jump here. There's like, yeah, there's no indicator of it being a pale ale at all. The head itself is pretty much like what you would expect from an ordinary pale ale, so. Although I will say the head itself is kind of sweet. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really getting a lot of the Brown Shugga per se. I mean, there's kind of a very faint like Swedish taste to it, but the hops on here are surprising. That being said, it's not bad. I'm trying to figure out how I can phrase this, because it's like, now that I'm actually getting past the head, you can kind of pick up some of the little bit of a sweet and hoppy taste. Like, it's not sweet in the sense that you're like drinking sugar, like the Shugga implies. It's just kind of a nice little hint. It's definitely not the smoothest IPA you're gonna drink, though. The hops are quite distinct. There is quite a bit of a bitter taste to it. Once you get past like this kind of a sweet sort of initial taste that you get. What I'm trying to say here basically is that this is kind of just like a slightly sweeter IPA, I guess you could phrase it. I'm not sure if there's like actually brown sugar or something that's actually from the formula. Maybe the name is misleading, but it's kind of what I'm going to guess, because it tastes like an IPA, just with, like I said, the initial sweet taste. It's kind of interesting. It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just surprised. That being said, it's unique and such, but it's not anything that I would put over any of their other IPAs that I've had by them. If you are a fan of pale ales of sorts, you want something that's slightly different, maybe give this one a shot. I don't say that it's the best one I've had in the past few months, but it's memorable, that's for sure. It also has a great name, I can't go wrong with that. Anyways, I guess if I were to put this on my tier list, I would probably just put it around tier 3, which if you're not familiar with how my tier list works, tier 3 means that it's definitely not bad. It's kind of got its own charms at times, but, you know, it's drinkable. It's not anything special, not anything I would recommend over anything else, especially by this brewery, because they have better things. This one is, of course, you know, a matter of my opinion, and opinions are like assholes. They all stink and people don't want to be around them. But just take mine with a grain of salt. Or maybe with a few grains of barley, I don't know. So I guess I'll call this the end of the review. I didn't really have a lot of adjectives or proper words to describe just because I was so thrown off. Since this was kind of an unexpected taste, as a blind one. So my review isn't, you know, as detailed as any other professional would be. Just remember that I'm not a professional, I'm just a guy who likes beer. This one though is good. I'd say try it at some point, but don't put it over anything else that these guys have. You have any opinions on this particular beer, or want to recommend anything similar to it, maybe give some feedback, maybe come up with a word I was trying to think of for this, feel free to go ahead and do so in the comment section, and feel free to like and subscribe, and yeah, as always, cheers.